my husband's mother hijacked my baby's shower and wants to be in the delivery room. I told her no, and now my marriage is on the line. I, 29F, have been married to my husband, Ben, 32M, for almost 4 years. We've had a mostly solid relationship. We laugh a lot, we communicate, or at least I thought we did, and we've wanted the same things: stability, a family, a life we built ourselves. But there's always been one point of tension: his mother, Linda. Linda is complicated. On the surface, she's warm and friendly, always baking cookies, hugging too long, talking about how family is everything. But underneath that, there's this controlling streak. She inserts herself into everything. When we got engaged, she tried to hijack our wedding plans, insisted on choosing my dress, the flowers, even the guest list. Ben told me to let her feel involved. So I compromised. Again and again. Then, during our first year of marriage, she just dropped by constantly. I'd come home from work to find her in my kitchen, reorganizing our pantry or folding our laundry. When I asked Ben to set some boundaries, he said, "She's just trying to help." So I bit my tongue. Fast forward to now, I'm 33 weeks pregnant with our first baby, a girl. This pregnancy hasn't been easy. I've had morning sickness, back pain, swelling, and scary moments when I thought we might lose her. It's been emotional, and honestly, I haven't felt very supported. Ben works long hours, and Linda treats my pregnancy like it's happening to her. She refers to the baby as her baby. She touches my belly without asking. She's already picked out a grandma outfit for the delivery room. She even told my own mother, "I'm going to be in there when she's born. I wouldn't miss it for the world." That was never discussed. I never invited her. But the real breaking point came last weekend, at my baby's shower. It was supposed to be a cozy, lovely afternoon hosted by my best friend, Erin. We'd planned it for weeks: small guest list, lots of pink and gold decor, cupcakes, some games, and a quiet moment to celebrate this little life that's about to arrive. Linda wasn't supposed to co-host. But 2 days before the shower, she called Erin and insisted on bringing some of her own touches. Erin, being polite, said okay. That was a mistake. When I arrived at the baby's shower, I immediately knew something was off. It was supposed to be at Erin's house, cozy, familiar, with close friends and family. But Linda had changed the venue without telling me. She convinced Erin the day before to move it to a country club where she had connections. Erin was furious but too overwhelmed to push back. So instead of a casual, heartfelt event, I walked into this massive, echoey hall decked out in blue decorations, yes, blue, for my baby girl. There were balloon arches with "Welcome Baby Ben Jr." written across them. A huge poster board with baby pictures of Ben, and nothing of me. The centerpieces were little footballs and tiny bow ties. Even the cake had "Congratulations, Daddy," written on it in giant script, with Mommy scribbled in the corner like an afterthought. I stood in the doorway stunned. And then Linda appeared, grinning ear to ear like she had just given me the world. She pulled me into a tight hug and whispered, "Surprise! Isn't it perfect? I figured this is what he would have wanted." I couldn't even respond. I felt like a guest at my own shower. Ben was there too. He hadn't planned to attend originally, but I guess Linda invited him. And of course, he was beaming. He had no idea I was about to cry. I tried to smile. Tried to keep it together. But every detail screamed that I didn't matter. That this wasn't about me or the baby, it was about them. Their fantasy. Their spotlight. I sat through the gift opening while Linda narrated every present. I smiled for pictures while she posed with her hand on my belly like she was the one expecting. When we got to the games, Linda announced that everyone should guess which parent the baby will look like, and then joked that she hoped she wouldn't get her mother's big nose. I laughed. Because what else could I do? But I was dying inside. When the party finally ended, and guests trickled out, I pulled Ben aside. What the hell was that? I asked, voice shaking. What do you mean? He said. Didn't you see how happy everyone was? My mom put a ton of effort into this. She wanted it to be special. It was supposed to be our baby shower. Mine. Not hers. He frowned, like I was overreacting. She just wanted to help. And that was it. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just another day where Linda's feelings mattered more than mine. But this time, something in me snapped. We drove home in silence. I stared out the window, jaw tight, fingers pressing against my swollen belly like I needed to shield her from all of it, the noise, the tension, the invasion. When we got home, I didn't go inside. I stood on the porch and said, I need to talk. Ben sighed, clearly tired, and rubbed his temples. Look, if this is about the decorations. It's not just about the decorations, Ben! I snapped. It's about how she took over again. How you let her. He looked surprised. Maybe even hurt. She meant well. You're being too sensitive. Those 4 words made something inside me crack. You're being too sensitive. How many times had I heard that from him? From her? Every time I tried to set a boundary, every time I voiced discomfort, it was always brushed aside like I was the problem. I wasn't yelling, but I was trembling. Do you even see what she's doing? She made today about you, about herself, about everything except the person actually carrying this child. She's already calling the baby hers, Ben. She changed the shower venue without telling me. She mocked my nose in front of 30 people. She was joking, he mumbled. No, she wasn't, I said, voice cracking. And even if she was, it's not the joke, it's the disrespect. You never defend me. You never say anything to her. You just let it happen and expect me to suck it up. He was quiet for a moment, then said something that nearly floored me. Well, I grew up with her, okay? She's always been like this. It's easier not to push back. I pick my battles. And what am I? I asked. Not a battle worth picking? He looked away. And in that moment, I didn't just feel betrayed by Linda. I felt abandoned by Ben. Like he had silently chosen a side, over and over again, and just hoped I wouldn't notice. Like my pain was a price he was willing to pay for peace. I went inside, locked the bathroom door, and cried until I couldn't breathe. I looked at myself in the mirror, puffy-eyed, exhausted, swollen with new life, and for the first time since we got married, I genuinely wondered if I'd made a mistake. The next morning, I woke up early. I hadn't slept much, just stared at the ceiling most of the night, my thoughts circling like vultures. Ben didn't say a word when he came to bed. He didn't check on me. He just laid down like nothing had happened. Like I was the problem again, for making a scene. So I did something I'd never done before. I called my mom and told her everything. The baby shower. Linda. Ben. The years of swallowing things just to keep the peace. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, Sweetheart, you need to protect your peace now more than ever. Especially with that baby on the way. Those words echoed in my head all day, protect your peace. When Ben finally wandered into the kitchen that afternoon, still avoiding eye contact, I told him we needed to talk. Again. This time I was calm. Clear. I've made a decision, I said. When I go into labor, your mom will not be in the delivery room. I don't want her at the hospital at all unless I say otherwise. He blinked like I slapped him. What? That's insane. No, Ben. What's insane is thinking you can keep playing the middle and not lose someone. I'm done letting her bulldoze over my life. Our life. He scoffed. She's just excited. She treats me like a vessel. I snapped. Like this baby is her second chance to raise a child her way. She disrespects me, she mocks me, she manipulates you, and you keep handing her the keys. Ben finally got angry. She's my mother, what do you expect me to do? Cut her out. I expect you to put your wife and child first. That hit him. I saw it in his face. I added, I'm not saying go no contact. But if you can't set boundaries with her now, I will. And if you can't support me while I bring a human into this world, then I'll do it without you. He didn't answer. He just stared at the floor. Later that night, he came to me and said he would talk to her. That he'd make it clear the hospital boundary was non-negotiable. That he understood things had gone too far. But I didn't feel relief. I felt grief. Because it shouldn't have taken this long. Because I had to fight to be respected in my own pregnancy. Because a part of me realized something that terrified me. Even if he sets boundaries now, I may never forget that when I needed him most, he stood still while his mother stepped over me. Linda didn't take it well. The moment Ben told her she wouldn't be at the hospital, she exploded. She called me immediately, crying, screaming, accusing me of ripping her family apart. She said I was robbing her of her grandchild's birth. That I was turning Ben against his own blood. I stayed calm. I told her this wasn't about punishment, it was about space. That I needed peace, not drama, in the most vulnerable moment of my life. She hung up on me. Ben tried to smooth things over, but I could see it, the guilt tugging at him. He hates confrontation. He hates being the middleman. But I reminded him, you're not in the middle. You're supposed to be on my side now. The weeks passed. Linda went quiet. Passive-aggressive texts to Ben, none to me. She started planning her own welcome home, gathering for the baby, something I never agreed to. I told Ben no visitors for at least 2 weeks after birth. He hesitated, then nodded. I gave birth last week. It was painful and beautiful and terrifying, and Ben was there. Really there. He held my hand through every contraction. He kissed my forehead when I sobbed with exhaustion. He looked at our daughter like she was magic. When we were alone in the hospital room, exhausted but glowing, he whispered, "You were right. About all of it." And for a brief, fleeting moment, I thought maybe this was a turning point. But now we're home. And the silence from Linda has turned into pressure again. She sent Ben a list of grandma rules. She's demanding to come over. She told her Facebook friends that her baby girl has arrived. Not her son's daughter. Hers. Ben promised me he'd handle it. I told him this is the moment that will define us, not as husband and wife, but as parents. If he caves, if he lets her bulldoze our lives again, I don't know if I'll be able to look at him the same. I love him. I see him trying. But love doesn't mean ignoring pain. Or pretending this isn't a pattern. Or sacrificing myself to keep the family boat from rocking. So here I am, exhausted, healing, holding my daughter while watching the man I love balance on the edge of two worlds. And I'm asking myself, if he doesn't choose us now, will he ever?